What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching a Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. The film that I'm about to review in this video is a little bit different from the films that you're used to watching me review. I typically review Hollywood films, but this time I'm going to be reviewing a film from Japan, specifically an anime film. This film is called Your Name, and it came out in Japan in 2016, but it recently got released this year in North America. And this film also happens to be one of the highest grossing films in the Japanese box office. So it's kind of a big deal. This film is directed and written by Makoto Shinkai, who also wrote and directed two short films. Well, I wouldn't call them short films. They're both 45 minutes long. But anyways, they're called Voices of a Distant Star and 5 centimeters per second. Now, if you've watched these films, you'll know that they both have a common theme. And that theme is two friends who are separated in some way, okay? This film follows the same type of theme, but instead it's kind of like, let's just say it's Freaky Friday, but in anime. Now, if you don't know what Freaky Friday is, it's basically a mother and a daughter switching places. Basically, I guess the soul and personality of the daughter is inside the mother's body, and and vice versa. There's another film starring Ryan Reynolds and Jason Bateman where they switch places as well. It's a comedy, but anyways, same type of concept. A girl and a boy who don't know each other, complete strangers. They switch places, and they gotta figure things out. Like, eventually they're aware that they switch places, and then they gotta figure things out, they gotta work with it, they gotta deal with it, and then, of course, there's a deeper story behind just that. It's not just about that, there's a deeper story. Now, I'm not gonna get into that just because, well, that would give everything away, but I'll tell you that this is a great film. The hype is real about this film, and I loved all of it. And it starts off a bit fast, and in fact, it's a very fast-moving film. It's a very fast-paced film. It's dramatic, but it's fast-paced, but it's got a lot of comedy in it to keep you entertained, but at the same time, you're really, really engaged in this film. It's got a lot of cultural aspects in it that might get you a little bit lost, but if you're okay with reading subtitles, I think that you will really, really enjoy this. This is kind of, it almost plays out like a Studio Ghibli film because of the themes and how it's not very, like, it doesn't have a whole lot of sci-fi elements in it, but it's more like fantasy. It's like it falls into the realm of kind of realistic fantasy where it takes place in modern day, but there's like a little bit of fantasy involved, but just because of the fact that they switch places magically. But anyways, I love this film. It's got a lot of emotion in it. It's definitely got a very, very deep story. I love the character dynamics, and I love how the characters are written. There's a lot of really great humor in this, and the direction of this film is fantastic because it keeps you engaged from beginning to end. It's very, very well paced, and the story just keeps on developing, and it's so emotional to the point it really grips your heart. It really tugs at you, just because, well, this is a story where people are separated, and they need to figure out what's going on, but you get attached to these characters. You really, really do. So I don't know what more I can say about this film, except that I just really, really loved it. I guess if there were anything that I would say as a complaint, I wouldn't really call this a complaint, but I'll say that it moves really, really fast. I mean, when I say that it's a fast-paced film, it's a fast-paced film. It moves really, really fast, and like, for a non-Japanese speaker, you kind of get lost in not just the cultural aspects of the film, but some of the dialogue, just because there's a lot going on there just to keep the movie moving forward, the story moving forward, because there's a lot to really talk about in this film, but it just they really keep it at a pretty swift pace. I guess that's all I really can say that's a complaint about the film, but besides that, loved it. Engaging from beginning to end, really well written characters, and again, it's also a very deep story with strong emotional themes. I highly recommend it if you can check it out, and get ready to open your mind to something that is very, very magical. That's all I gotta say. 9 out of 10, highly recommended. And as always, if you enjoyed this review and you want to see more, hit the like button, subscribe to YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. 8 times I dozed off and I was awoken just because a gun went off again. And for a 70-minute shootout, you don't have